Hello, welcome to the channel. Another lockdown special. So what I'm going to do is just make a little penny stove for burning meth. So this is really useful if you're just starting out. You don't want to go and buy a gas stove and then gas bottles and all the rest of it. So this is something you can knock up if you've got yourselves 10 minutes at home using a couple of drinks cans. I'm going to make a miniature version using these two Fever Tree cans. And some basic tools, so a pair of scissors, what do we got here, screwdriver, a little knife, marker, and so on, and something for poking some holes. So there we go, so that's what I'm going to use to do these. First thing I need to do then is just cut the bottoms off these two cans. So I'm just going to take my marker, take something just to give me a height, and that's just so that I know that it's going to be roughly a static height, and then just go around and mark that roughly at the same height all the way around. Same on this one. Doesn't need to be super accurate, as long as when I'm cutting it, it's somewhere near. To start this cut, I'm just going to take a penknife, just pop it in about there, and then cut it all the way around, staying away from the line for now. I'm going to trim it down with the scissors, but this is just to get me where I need to be. So that bit there can be discarded, I don't need that bit. This is the bit I'm going to use. I'm just going to do the same with this one. Like that, and again that bit can be discarded, I don't need it. Now it's time for the scissors. So the scissors, I'm just going to go around and just cut down to that line, that way. Actually, this is quite a good steel, this one. The last one I did, the tin was a bit flimsy and it all collapsed. But this is a nice, strong, slightly stiffer metal. So that's the first part, and then repeat. And again, just cutting down to the line. Below it in this case, like that. So I've got my two cans cut down to size, ready for the next stage, which is to put the burning coals in, or the jets, or whatever you want to call them. Finish with this now. Finish with those. So next thing I need is something to poke some holes in it. Now I'm going to poke holes in one of them. And I'm going to use this one for no particular reason. So what I want to do now is I want to poke some holes around the outside. I'm just going to do 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then opposites, using this pin. And they're going in just on the shoulder, just there. So that's, and that's it, that's all you need to do. A little hole like that. So I'm just going to go around and just do that now quickly. There you go, so what I've got now is holes poked all the way around the outside. Don't need to be massive, they're more than big enough. And then the last thing I need to do is put a hole right in the middle there. So now that hole does need to be fairly much bigger than that, so I'm just going to make that a bit bigger, like that. I'm just putting that in there and working it to get a bit bigger. I want it actually a bit bigger than that, so I'm just going to take the screwdriver and work that in there as well. There you go. Perfect, so that's the size hole I'm after. And we're nearly done. So this piece here without the holes, that's going to be the bottom bit. So that now needs to fit together. Just to help me with this, I'm just going to put a couple of tweaks, little creases around the outside there. I don't want to go too mad because I don't want it to collapse. I just want to sort of reduce that circumference there. And then this should hopefully fit into with a little bit of coaxing. Okay, so there's two things you can do. You can either continue to crease this, but if you do continue to crease this, you risk the whole lot collapsing, or you can just stretch this one out a little bit. And I'm just going to stretch this one out a little bit. So the way I do that, just take my metal, I'm just going to run it, again, not too hard, just around the outside like that. And that hopefully will have stretched it out enough so that these will fit together. Okay, I'm going to have to tweak that a little bit more. We have to tweak these just to get it to fit, but once it does, it should just push together like that. I'm just going to flatten that down a bit because it's a bit proud now. The only reason I'm doing this is just so I haven't got a rough edge there to catch my fingers on. So that is the complete thing. I'll show you that in use now. So I'm going to use alcohol to get this going. And what we do is we put some alcohol in the top. I'm not going to put too much because I want it to be burning forever. But you need enough to sort of prime it as well as get the burn going. So the way this works is you put you light it, and then the alcohol heats up, and once it gets to a certain temperature, you block the hole in the top. Forward. You block the hole in the top normally by sliding a penny on top of it, which is why it gets the name of a penny stove, and the flames continue to come out around the outside in a more controlled format. So let's light it. There you go, she's going. So what we're waiting for now is what they call the bloom, and the bloom is when it starts to come out these holes there. It won't come out there until it's warm, and it won't get warm until it's burnt for a while. So we'll leave that going for a bit. So there you go, I've just hurried that along a little bit. You can see that the flames are coming around the outside, but they're also coming up the middle, and that's not what I want. So I'm going to take a little ball bearing, just drop it in there, that blocks off the middle hole, and now I get a decent burn around the outside. Next time I'm out with Jay and we do a little bit of filming, I'll take this with me, and then we can I'll do a brew on it and I'll show you it working properly. I had to warm the alcohol up then to get it going properly, but normally you'd have a lot more in there than the little splash I put in there. So yeah, I'll do it properly, set it going and show you it being used to make a cup of tea on.